Hi and welcome to another Health Talk. My name is Melissa Wilkes. I'm a health and wellbeing coach working with the NHS and Track. This Health Talk is mainly going to be for those with arthritis. I'm going to be talking about inflammation. Now, I've alluded to this in previous videos when it comes to gut health and how if you're eating lots of simple carbohydrates, you increase free radical damage. This can kind of perforate the lining of the small intestines, and food debris can escape, and that creates an inflammatory response. Now, damage in the body is why we become inflamed. And what happens on a chemical level when you injure yourself, let's say something visible like breaking your arm, spraining your ankle, those sorts of things, you see swelling in the area. And it's a good thing. It protects the damaged area. It keeps it stable, and it creates an area within the body for it to be fixed. Now, the first thing that happens when you get pain is like 999 call for help. And this is a chemical called histamine, which you've probably heard of before. It's found in mast cells within the connective tissues throughout the body, and it acts as a neurotransmitter. It's part of the immune system, and it's off to tell the brain that you need swelling in that area. Now, you've probably heard of antihistamine, which is when you get a pathogen that creates an allergic response, which is sneezing, runny nose, and eyes watering stuff. You're basically trying to get the pathogen out of the body, and when that happens inside, you get the pathogen out in other ways. So when you get this call for help that goes out, the histamine actually tells the liver as well to activate the first responder. That's fibrin. It's present in blood platelets all throughout the body, but it binds together to form a mesh, and that throws like a net over the problem. It contains the problem, and as the messages go into the brain, to prostaglandins, I think they're called, and that releases swelling or water from the surrounding tissues to bring swelling to the area. So now that area is contained and we've got room to work, we're going to send the workmen in. And these come from white blood cells of the immune system called neutrophils and macrophages. Neutrophils neutralize the area to prevent infection, and macrophages, which actually look like Pac-Man, eat up the debris and bacteria, and then we can start to lay down new soft tissue, rebuild, heal, after which we've got a cleanup crew. Now, these are called proteolactic enzymes, which is there to dismantle fibrin and put it back into the blood platelets. And then the lymphatic system sucks up the water, and that gets expelled from the body as water does. So back to fibrin a minute. It's a useful protein substance. It actually dictates how healthy and flexible every part of your body is as you age. You can attribute all those aches and pains to fibrin control decline, which happens from around 27 years of age. If fibrin levels are out of control, like if you've got chronic pain and chronic inflammation, imagine you're hurting yourself time and time again, this instigating the previous process time and time again. You see, because fibrin itself is insoluble protein, so it's there continuously. So if let's say your body is in perfect working order, and fibrin does its things and then returns to the body as it should. Unfortunately, most of the time our bodies aren't in perfect working order. You see, these days, if we feel pain, we take a painkiller, and painkillers cancel the signal for the cleanup crew, which is proteolactic enzymes. This is there to dismantle the fibrin and put it back into the blood. If you've got chronic conditions, it keeps sending fibrin to the scene. This is known as fibrosis. And over time, that mesh thickens and stiffens and causes like scar tissue throughout the, or like a mass in the area. And that's restricting your movement. It may interfere with muscle function, and it could become an issue within the blood vessels, restricting the blood flow and oxygen to the area, slowing the healing process and keeping you in pain for longer. I know fibromyalgia, which is out of my area of research, but the process is the same. It's just the cause that's a little unknown. You will be pleased to know that reversing the problem is really easy. Right, fortunately, it doesn't take long to reverse the overgrowth of fibrin. The key is reactivating the body's natural fibrin cleanup crew, the protolactic enzymes, a group that is responsible for breaking down those molecules. They hit fibrin masses and literally eat them away. And as an added bonus, protolactic enzymes cleans toxins from the blood, fights viruses, and fortifies your immune system. It's simple biological science. And as fibrin builds up, just like fibrin builds up, it disappears, and your swollen, inflamed joints calm down, and your chronic aches and pains fade away. So how do we do it? Well, you've got 5 types of food which are actually really, really bad for the buildup of fibrin or preventing the protolactic enzymes doing their job. So the first is blackened or barbecued food, which I know we've probably all had a lot of this summer. They create, when you're cooking in high temperatures, they cause a toxic AGEs, which is like oxidative stress or pain for the body. Gluten is also, so you know, your bagels, muffins, pastas, stuff like that, is it can be bad for those with arthritis. And your nightshade plants, which is your peppers, chili peppers, things like that, because they affect the way that calcium is metabolized in the body. Processed foods, French fries, fast foods, microwave meals, such and your refined sugars, carbs, that are, you know, everything that's broken down, alcohol, preservatives, are all really, really bad. But what you can do dietary wise is to increase protolactic enzymes is eat kiwi, ginger, asparagus, pineapple, yogurts, fermented foods like kimchi, kefir, sauerkraut, and foods like that. Papaya is also really, really good, and currently I think in the supermarkets. But pineapple is one of the best things. You can actually have the pineapple sort of stem, the root stem, which you can get in supplement form, bromine, I think that's called, which help these areas. But basically looking after your gut, which is what the fermented foods do, and reducing how quick you are to inflame will be really, really beneficial for your body. Increasing those protolactic enzymes through kiwi, ginger, asparagus, pineapple, papaya, yogurt, and fermented foods will help your body's balance and help it to increase protolactic enzymes to break down fibrin and prevent those masses from forming and excessively forming. So if you're constantly in the state of pain, you need to work to constantly make sure that you're having those foods in your diet to break it back down and put it back into the blood, because it's not something that's released from your body, it's something that's there continuously for your help, but we've come out of balance and we're not using it correctly, so we need to get that back into a regular form. Okay, so kiwi, ginger, asparagus, yogurts, pineapple, full fat yogurt as well, don't do non-fat because that's got preservatives in it. Pineapple, which I've got lots of pineapple in my little green juice, papaya, and your fermented foods. Fermented foods are really, really good for your gut health, and keeping your gut from inflaming on a regular basis is really, really beneficial. And I know some of the fermented foods aren't that tasty, like the sauerkraut, for instance, I smother in gravy whenever I'm eating it. The kefir I normally add to yogurts, so it's not so much like it's gone off milk. But yeah, do try and get some of those into your system on a regular basis, and it will be really, really beneficial for your movement. Obviously, when it comes to exercise, lots of stretching and daily workouts that we do at Partrack. Make sure that you keep up with those, so you keep the flexibility, you keep the range of movement in your body. Hopefully this was helpful, and if you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Thanks very much. Bye.